So coming on to your back, the legs are bent, feet hip distance apart, thighs parallel. Whatever you're using underneath your shoulders, adjust that as you come down onto your back body. I'm using the block under my head for support so that I don't have any strain in my neck this morning. Just take a couple opening breaths here just to feel into the body. Our core day today, so as we begin to scan the body, we'll take that first opening move of just bringing the palms to rest right at the hip line, fingers pointing towards the knees. As you draw in your breath and you kind of tuck in your low back, begin to lift, exhale the air as the fingers head up towards the knees. And then slowly inhale and come right back down. So take a couple sweeps for two reasons, just to kind of warm up the front and the back body, but also to recognize whether your towel or whatever you're using underneath your shoulders needs to be adjusted, because the breath here is your teacher. So if it's kind of ragged, maybe you need to lower. And if it feels too easy, which I can't understand how that would, then maybe you roll it up just a little bit more. So as we arrive here, making the adjustments, remove now whatever is underneath your head. Interlace your hands right at the base of the skull, not the neck, and open up the shoulders wide. And just take a couple breaths here, just to open up through the chest, through the pecs, through the biceps. Deep breath in. And again, in this opening part of the practice, please look straight up at your device, at the ceiling and not your device, just for the protection of your neck. And we never want to pull on the head either. The head is just resting in the palms of the hands. So as we begin here, elbows up towards the ceiling, draw in your belly, take a breath, come up halfway. Exhale all the air out as you roll up towards your knees. Inhale, come back halfway, and exhale, release and down. Let's take 5. Inhale, half. Exhale, curl. Come back halfway and release down. Up, curl in with breath. Back and down. Big breath in, belly's in, come up halfway. Exhale all the air out as you reach for those knees. Come back down halfway and lower. 2 more. Each movement is a breath. As you return down, open up the elbows. Again, remembering that you can continue to stay with that movement. I'm going to lead the crossover, the elbow to the opposite knee. Again, with breath, watch pulling on the head. And the idea is to get the elbow to the knee, not the knee to the elbow. So we really want to work on getting the shoulder blades off of the mat. As you're ready, again, belly draws in, elbows up. Take that inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, elbow goes towards one knee. Come back halfway and lower. Inhale, cross over. Exhale and down. Now your breath is different than mine. So you just take the movement according to your breath. Just let the breath lead the movement. Two more. And again, as you're finished, lay back down and open up the arms. Take a couple breaths. Roll over onto one side. Remove what's underneath the shoulders. Hold on to it for a second. Take a long full body stretch. Kind of wiggle it around a little bit. See what you feel. And then coming back, knees bent. We'll take the towel, place it underneath the sacrum. And again, just watch the placement. You don't want it on the low back, and you don't want it on the flesh part of the buns. There's that nice little shelf there. Bring the legs up to that tabletop position, knees right over the hip points. Kind of squeeze your shoulder blades in, draw your belly in. Heel taps alternating as you're ready. Take the breath in, nice and slow. Right heel taps. And just like you're moving it through water, bring it back up. And the left. Here we want to work really slow. Your arms can be in any position. Again, I like to keep my finger pads on my low belly. Just helps me concentrate and focus on where the work is. Always easy to hold your breath. Just make sure you're using full fluid breaths. Slow it down for the last two, like slow motion, and notice how much harder in slow motion it is. Finishing it up, draw the knees in, give them a hug, let that tailbone roll up. Because of that towel that you're using, you're getting a nice extra little stretch in that low back. Take a breath. Sending the legs up towards the ceiling, flexing through the feet, flaring through the toes. Heel tap here. So again, draw the belly in, release the shoulders, and as you're ready, right heel comes down towards the floor, depends on your back, and nice and slow, bring it back up and alternate with the left. So again, the slower you go, the more you're going to feel all the muscles that are helping you with this movement. Each one a breath now. Two more each side. As you finish again, draw the knees in, give them a squeeze. Good. Legs back up. Now this is one leg, so we bring the ankles and the knees, squeeze the thighs together. The exact same movement. Don't take it in the low back. So super important that you hug the belly in to help support that spine. And if you begin to feel that your back is trying to do the work, don't come down as far. You'll see me probably only go a third of the way. So adjust yourself here. Take a breath in, draw the belly in, lower the legs like one leg together, come down. Use your breath and draw it back up, just over to the hip points, and then send it back. Exhale all the air as you bring it back up. Nice and slow, we lower, and nice and slow, we draw it back. Three more. working right into those muscles just below the pubic bone or above the pubic bone. All right. Draw the knees in. Place your feet on the floor, again, hip distance apart. Lift the hips up like you're coming into a bridge pose. So press into the feet, lift the hips. Remove what you're using underneath you. Keep the hips up. Maybe take those arms overhead. Take a nice stretch from the knees to the fingers. Lift the hips a little bit higher. Stretch out that whole front line. And then nice and slow, bring it all back down. Windshield wiper the knees. And then we're going to bring it back in, feet. So eagle crunch here. Starting with the right leg over the left. Take a double bind if you would like to, or just squeeze the legs together. Right arm underneath the left, or hands resting at the elbows, resting at the shoulders, stacking the elbows. Find your eagle arms. Take the hands overhead. Again, press that low back into your mat. Draw the belly in, big breath in. As you're ready, exhale, elbows come up towards the knees and lower down with the inhale. Exhale, brings it up. Inhale, lowers us. Take 3. Last one, we're gonna hold it here. So when your elbows and knees come up, again, draw the belly in, take a breath. Release the breath slowly. One more inhale. Exhale, everything comes down. Unravel, release. Take a breath. Second side, left knee over the right. Find your eagle legs. Left arm under the right. Find your eagle arms. Fingers overhead, toes on the floor. Big inhale draws the belly in. Exhale, everything comes up. Lift those shoulder blades off the mat and lower down. So exhale, curl it in. Inhale, lowers down. 3 more. Last one. Hold it up. Take an inhale. Exhale. Inhale fully. Exhale, release everything down. Open up the arms. Maybe take that full body stretch. If your block is handy, you could also use your towel for this. Take the block in between the knees. Again, mine's going lengthwise from my knees toward my calves. Knees stay right over the hip points. Arms can be in whatever position. Squeeze the block, working into the obliques, side body here. Squeeze the block. Take a breath. Exhale. Knees to the right. Just let them hover. Squeeze the block on the inhale. Bring them back to neutral. Opposite side. Take it left on the exhale. Squeeze the block. Bring it back to neutral. So just flow right and left. Keep a good squeeze on the block. Don't take it over too far, just to where you feel sensation there. One more rotation each side, and we will meet back into that neutral position, leveling out the hip bones, feeling the spine. Taking in a nice breath, just let it go. Now this time we're going to send it over to the one side and we're going to hover. And we're going to hover for 2 breaths. So squeezing the block, Take the breath in. Send the knees right. Any place you can sustain for 2 breaths that you can hold. Your shoulders are nice and relaxed. Your face should be nice and relaxed. One more breath. Squeeze the block, draw it back up to neutral, level out the hips. Take a full deep breath and gather the belly in and take it left. Again, to that place you can hold for 2 breaths. And we'll draw it right back up to center. Good job. Set the block aside, squeeze the knees in, roll that tailbone, maybe rock side to side. And we'll roll it right over to our table. So a couple cat and cows just to release the spine and release the front body. It ought to feel good. Again, spreading the fingers wide, stacking your joints. With your inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the belly and lift the chest. It's a nice long stretch there. Then the tailbone tucks in and we begin to round through the spine, press through the hands, tuck the chin in. So you do your cat-cow, whatever feels good, to find some space in the front and the back body. Then we'll lower down onto the forearms and stretch the legs out behind us onto the balls of the feet. I like to interlace my hands at the center of the mat, moving into that forearm plank. So as you extend your legs, press your heels back. Hips come down, press into your forearms, lift the chest. So we're here for 2 minutes and then we're done with the practice. So make this count here. Heels back, keep a nice tight core, squeeze your glutes, press into your forearms, and notice your breath. Notice some trembling maybe, a little bit of shaking. Embrace all of that. Those are all the stabilizer muscles kicking in to hold up your body weight. So use that breath through the body. Keep that chest lifted. Core engaged. Heels back. You've got this. Got 1 more minute. Easy breath. We always say if this is the hardest thing that you've got to do today, you're going to have a beautiful day. 1 more breath. Beautiful. Lower the knees down. Lower the hips down. Find a Sphinx pose. Forearms parallel. Place the palms on the mat. Drag them towards you so that you get a nice stretch from the belly to the sternum. So you're not going high, you're going long. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Take a breath. Stack the palms, one on top of the other. Elbows wide. Rest the head on top of the palms. Shimmy out the hips. And then bring yourself to stillness. Let the shoulders and the chest relax. Maybe rub the forehead back and forth and massage to the third eye. And then draw the skin of the forehead down towards your eyebrows. Smooth out your breath. Take a couple moments here. Congratulate yourself for making it to hump day, to core day. And I'll look for you tomorrow, hips and hammies in our jammies. Namaste.